We have a comment from the Fever. I almost said Eagles, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. I'm getting Eagles on the brain. I'm getting excited about my Philly Eagles offense as they start moving into training camp next week. A lot of new pieces. But anyway, the Fever Dream post game ladies, uh, and I forget who it was. Sorry about that. Made a comment that I found. Well, a couple of comments that I found really interesting that I want to talk about and break down, and also something with regard to Kelsey Mitchell that I think is important as well. So take a listen to this. It's only a few seconds long, but there are actually two nuggets of information in here that I want to talk about that are kind of interesting. By the way, welcome back to the channel. Thank you as always for being here. Thank you so much for all of your support. I truly, truly do appreciate it. Hope you all having a fantastic day. We're about to officially be in summer. Do me a quick favor if you are enjoying the content, like, comment, subscribe. It is the only way that this channel continues to survive. All right, so let's take a quick listen. Again, this is only maybe about 10 seconds long, but two really, really important things said in this comment.
They kept a fresh body on Caitlin at all times. Look, Caitlin had 26 points, right? All of her baskets, she had somebody right there. It was rare that we just saw an open shot. And so they were applying pressure all day long. But the Fever, sometimes when you get into a situation where the ball stays in her hand a little bit longer, the stretches where other players aren't touching it. Yes.
All right, so there were two really, really important comments that I want to talk about. First, you mentioned, hey, Caitlin had 26 points. And this is actually a lot of praise. I don't know if it was purposeful because we don't get a lot of that from WNBA sports media, but this for all the hatelins out there, for all the haters out there, for all the slows out there, something we've been trying to tell y'all. Caitlin Clark, all her buckets were tough. She is never open. Think about that. This goes back to pre-Olympic break 2024, right? Remember, for all of 2024, Caitlin Clark led the league in unassisted buckets, which, by the way, completely destroys the narrative that she can't create her own shot because that's all she does. And we're seeing that again now because Stephanie White, hey, anyone going to ask her to update her? Well, we gotta figure out a way. We gotta do it. We gotta do it. Yeah, we do. We do. We got to figure out a way to get her some open looks. We got to figure it out. I know. I've been here for a long time. I watched Caitlin in college. I know Caitlin's game. And I say unequivocally, we got to figure out a way to get her some open looks. We got to do it. Still don't do it though. And then, so obviously that is a problem with Stephanie White, and that is a problem with the offensive system, and the fact that she completely eliminated the pick and roll with Aaliyah Boston. Which brings me to the next point where she said about, oh, the ball's in her hands too long. And that makes it difficult. That means other players don't have it. First of all, that's good that other players don't have it. All right. That's because then bad things aren't happening. But to that point, that is again the problem with the system. For all of y'all watching the game, and you know this is true, this is where we get into the problem with the system and also the problem with the other players and their lack of a basketball IQ. We all know what Caitlin can do with the basketball. We all know what Caitlin can do in terms of getting her teammates open looks. But if you're watching these games a lot, when Caitlin Clark has the ball, and you watch sometimes when she has the ball a little extra, when she does a little of the dribble, right, and she gets in the lane and she comes out, she is looking for a freaking teammate to cut, and they are all standing around. And so she's holding the ball and she's keeping it alive with her dribble because her teammates aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing. Caitlin Clark is reading the game as she does because she has a fantastic basketball IQ. The problem is her teammates don't have that same basketball IQ and they are not reacting. And a lot of that goes also with the fact that they have not installed the correct system with Caitlin Clark. People keep asking, even with Stephanie White's system, we see how bad it looks. What do they do in practice? No one has any idea what they do in practice. It seems like practice is just punishment. Practice is just conditioning. because no one is seeing anything coming from practice to actual games. No one has any idea what they're doing in practice. But I want to take a quick look at a couple of clips because this is just kind of to refute that whole, well, she's got the ball in her hands and that's a problem because now other players don't have it, blah, blah, woof, woof. When Caitlin has it in her hands, you better be looking to get open. That is all there is to that. Now, some of this is going to be Caitlin scoring herself, but hey, look at that. Caitlin has the ball in her hand. She's creating. She's going to get teammates. Same thing. She's looking around. And there it is. See what happens. And that's why I say, to be fair, it's not non-existent, but there's way too much standing around from her teammates. But this was a great example, this second one, of what I mean, where she has the ball in her hands. She's keeping it alive. She's circling back out and keeping her dribble alive because she's looking for a teammate that reacts to what she's doing and cuts to the basket. So we get stuff like this. Boom. I mean, that, because no one else makes that pass. No one else in the WNBA makes that pass. That is what you get. I love that so much. I love that so much, where she rams the two players into each other. But that is the type of stuff that you get with Caitlin Clark when she has the ball in her hands. It ain't bad for her to have the ball in her hands. Let's take a look at what happens when she doesn't have the ball in her hands. You get stuff like this all of the time. Could anyone please explain to me what the heck just happened? Where is this ball? By the way, look where Caitlin Clark is first. Now, I had this conversation with people the other day. I said, Kelsey Mitchell, and a lot of people were like, oh, look, there was that time Kelsey passed to Caitlin. Yeah, there are times when she does and she has to. I mean, obviously, it's not completely never. That's absurd to think that when you have, only 4 teammates on the court, it's going to happen. But yeah, you can make the general statement because it happens enough, as you see here. Kelsey Mitchell refuses to pass the ball to Caitlin Clark. Here, look at it. You will never in your life see Caitlin Clark as wide open as you see her right here. Or I should never more open. You will see rarely like this, and it usually happens in transition. And here's the other thing, and this is my point that I was making before and why I wanted to talk about this. If that is Caitlin Clark with the ball and Kelsey Mitchell is where Caitlin Clark is, guess what happens? Caitlin Clark gets the ball to Kelsey Mitchell, and Kelsey Mitchell takes a wide open 3, which she's going to hit far more often than not. By the way, so is Caitlin Clark. Also go back to the thing of hey, Caitlin had 26 points. She was never open. They were all tough buckets. Well, here's why. The rare occasion, usually in transition like this, where Caitlin Clark is wide open, she doesn't get the basketball. Instead, I have no idea what it is Kelsey Mitchell was doing here, other than she's like in panic mode. Oh my God, I can't give the ball to Caitlin Clark. She's wide open. She might hit a 3, but I'm the star of this team. I can't let Caitlin Clark make open 3s. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I still have no idea what the hell that was supposed to be. Does anyone know what that was supposed to be? This team needs to make changes, and it needs to make changes today. But again, I will end with the optimism of there is enough here with Caitlin Clark that if she goes rogue just enough, and I look around the league at the teams, still a team that can contend for a title. Absolutely believe that. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe. I will talk to you later.